Yesterday was back day, today was legs. Just about everything is hurting. But I come bearing good news because after several days of frustration, finally, yesterday, a breakthrough. And it came from one of the simplest things you could imagine, cleaning my desk. I know, it sounds bizarre. Can you imagine someone saying, I made more profits because I started cleaning my desk? And the reason why I have these three devices on my table is because in my actual office there, I had so much notebooks and other things that I might need. And I simplified all of that to my working laptop, to my learning laptop, which by the way, this was a gift to my dad, and this iPad was a gift to my mom. Both of them were not using it at all. And my dad actually re-gifted this to me, and seeing that my mom was not utilizing it, I was like, hey, I can make some great tutorial videos by actually drawing on the iPad for my businesses. So I re-gifted this back to myself. And with this combination, I'm able to track the things that I do in terms of my outreaches per day, what I do every 15 minutes from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I have broken down it into let's say 9 to 10, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, every 15 minutes. And I just come in and I jot a few words of what I did in that quarter. And just being mindful of where my time goes without necessarily needing to change anything, knowing that I have a place of accountability has done a lot. Yesterday was one of the most productive days, not just recently, but ever. And I felt like every time block was accounted for, whether I was taking a midday nap, which was tracked, whether I was having a meal with my family, everything was placed in each quarter that allowed me to have a map of where my entire day went. As opposed to a lot of the other days where hours go by and I'm like, what did I do? Where did the day go? How is it 4 p.m. already? And so that shift in tracking, not doing work on there, which by the way, I did make now 3 videos for my various projects in our tribe, in our portfolio, on the iPad with pretty cool features of drawing things out and, well, not drawing, but circling things, pointing things out. It's been very fun. I'm starting to get into the deeper elements of creating content around businesses. And this one I'm using to search up those curiosities or watch tutorials and figure things out, like exploratory stuff, working on the business, working in the business, tracking. Which brings us to our sponsor of the day, this measuring tape, so that you can track and measure what you need to manage. Actually, today, my wife measured many of my body parts, from the circumference of my calves to quads to waist to buttocks for some reason, to chest. My chest is I think 36 inches, 101 centimeters, something like that. Anyway, I say that because I'm getting into the world of tracking what happens in my life, to get a view of where I stand, because trying to navigate, trying to say, okay, is this the area I need to focus on? What improvements have happened in my efforts? If there's no measuring of what I was able to do last week, how much content I produced on a daily basis. Now, I'm not where I want to be in terms of the measuring metrics and to know, okay, last week I produced 17 pieces of long form videos, 23 short form videos, whatever it might be. I don't have that yet, but I'm heading in the right direction. I have a workout schedule printed in terms of the day-to-day and what body parts we're going to be hitting each day. So, I'm trying to establish more of the mapping of my current situation, where I'm heading, what's being done, what doesn't get measured, doesn't get managed. And this is a way of me being aware of where I am, what I'm doing, what's consuming my time, energy, effort, where's it all going. By tracking money, which we know is one of the easiest things to measure, we can see where we have leakages, where we're outspending, where we're not spending enough. If we're blind to our finances to say, hey, I know this amount of money is coming in, I don't know where it's going, I don't know how I'm left with this much, that puts us in a very not so useful place. The more information we know about our lives, the more easily we can know where to tweak things and where there's a domino effect, where there is leakage, where there's squandering. And so I'm enjoying tracking. I really am. And I realize that we have, at least I have time to do this. It may take 30 seconds, a minute, God forbid, every quarter to just write something out. But that's better than mindlessly going about my day as I've done previously and losing 45 minutes to I don't know what. Oh, I got him. And I don't have our other sponsor of the show, which would have me to wash this off. But nevertheless, things have been improving. Yesterday started with this little shift, and I posted a before and after of my desk, and believe it or not, that just set me in a different mood of tracking of what I'm doing with my time. And I also started this on this app called AnyDo, and I started to list out all the things that I wanted to do by that day. And you can bet I definitely didn't finish all of them, but I finished a lot more than I would have if I went about my day without having that listed somewhere. And so I'm figuring out these elements that are beginning to layer upon each other, that are beginning to compound in terms of, okay, a little bit Kaizen, a little bit improvement here, a little bit improvement there. And it's like, okay, now I know to track. Now I know that every morning, I actually turn the phone off of airplane mode when I get to the treadmill. So it's not that I wake up in bed and I get off of airplane mode and I'm consumed in just the flood of things. My body is in motion. I'm getting the blood flow going as I'm looking at the flood of messages that have been coming in overnight, which thankfully they are, because as I was telling my wife today, that if we don't have any pressure, or the more pressure that we have, the more we get paid. The less that we're needed, the less that we become obsoleted. Kind of rhymes. Now, ultimately, we do want to systematize ourselves to replace ourselves. But in terms of the beginning steps and the beginning phase of building our little empire, it is important that we take on greater and greater responsibility, and comes with greater pressures. And I was telling her I'm taking out fires here and there and there and there, and she understood that means I'm useful. That means I'm needed somewhere, and that means that I'm bringing value to the marketplace. So things are progressing. I'm getting inundated like a tsunami of and let me put on a timer, or else I'm going to talk way too long. I'm going to put on for 7 more minutes because it's Christmas Eve, and it's just a wonderful time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year, to embrace the spirit of giving, the spirit of recollecting, the spirit of spending time with the people and ourselves, and just really embracing why we do all of this for. And I know during this holiday season, business may be the slowest from other parts of the year, but it's actually been really taking off for me. I mean, I have so many messages to reply back to, and so many. I have actually a video to upload today. I shot 2 videos right here on the iPad actually today, and there's other videos that I'll be shooting or making, and just it's just getting quite exciting. I also hired a video editor and working with a new video editor. New one is producing his first long form content that I'll be uploading today after a lot of feedback and back and forth. So that's the one I'll be uploading today. And then the new editor that has shown really good skills needs a system, like needs to upgrade their system because it's very laggy and slow, but I can see their potential and I can see their skills. So I'm actually advancing them the funds that they need to be able to get their system up, and slowly I'll cut that from their salary. But I'm just beginning to expand my little team of activities here and trying to bring as much value to amplify what it is I'm aiming to do with this brand, with this community and tribe, and really invest into this, which, by the way, I almost forgot. Major news. Today, in our Grateful Tribe Facebook group, crossed 100 members. Like, actually went from less than 100 to 100. That's not the crazy part. In our team Telegram channel, the Grateful Tribe, crossed 200. That's right. Like, today in the morning, it wasn't 200, and now it crossed 200. And on the Grateful Tribe YouTube channel, we crossed 300 all today. So 100 Facebook group, 200 Telegram, 300 YouTube channel of subscribers. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. I'm deeply encouraged by this. I know it's not like life-changing numbers, but it is actually life-changing numbers for me because it shows that we're providing value to the marketplace. People are getting the information that they need to make decisions about how to navigate this online money-making space, to find the rewards in the risks and balance that, because everything in our space, as I repeatedly say, has risk. If there's a way to make profit, there's definitely risk, but the risk is only 100% of your principal. I know that sounds weird to say, but the way I look at it is that if you put in $1,000 into any project that we have here, you can only lose $1,000. Now, you should, of course, take the profits and put it into your pocket to reduce your risk. But the upside potential could be multiple folds of this single 1,000. It could be 2x, 5x, 10x. The craziest story I have for you is I was really down on my finances several years back, and I had like only a few $1,000s to live on, and I put $1,000 into a project, and I started to tap into their referral program, and I started to do multiple Zoom calls a day. I started to build out my network and my referral commissions, and I started to roll that back into the actual deposits, and ultimately got that to 10,000, and then eventually to 100,000. In 90 days, from the $1,000 of funds that I put in and the extreme amounts of sweat equity, $1,000 of financial equity, I would say maximum sweat equity, I was making $100,000, not a year, not a month, a week. So when I say that the downside is only your principal, but the upside could be astronomical. That's our space. That's this high risk, high reward space. That's the fintech space. So if you dabble in anything in that space or in our tribe, just know that, as I keep mentioning it in every description of the video, as well as in our channels. But I'm deeply grateful for where things are going, how 2025 is being closed. It has been quite an unexpected year. Maybe on another one, I'll summarize the highlights of 2025. But things are beginning to progress. We're going to do our next charity event coming up. I still have to give feedback on the last two charity events that we did, that the videos are in the process of being edited and getting to the final version, so I can share that with you guys on our community channels, where we have over 300 subscribers. Maybe you'll be one of the next to help us get to 400 and beyond. But I'm very grateful, truly, the reason that I work hard is because I know what it's like to starve. Starve financially, starve in terms of opportunity, starve in terms of knowing what to do. And now I feel like I have some direction of where to focus, not just for the short term, but for the lifelong. This is the closest thing to a life's work, the masterwork of my life that I'm pouring everything into. And so I'm deeply grateful to come in and add the layers and see these 100, 200, 300 in these different platforms building, and it means a lot to me. So if you're part of our tribe, it means a lot. And it also means a lot to others that are benefactors of the ripple effect of our mission to help people with purpose achieve profits, or as I like to say, to help people with big hearts achieve big wallets. With that being said, I think my time is wrapping up. I'm getting messages all throughout my platforms. So I'll be replying back to close out my night, and I wish you a wonderful holiday season. And if I can be of help, feel free to join our tribe where we can do something meaningful together. With that, I will see you on the next, my friends.